about right here, maybe. All right, guys. I think it's right at noon. My name is Cody. I'm the Health and Wellness Coordinator. I haven't met everyone yet, but my part here today, for one, make sure you get on the sign-in sheet so we can get you guys credit. And I think moving forward, what we'll do is I'll email you guys a certificate based on the sign-in sheet. We'll email those out to you, and then hopefully we get IT to do an upload link of some sort, and we'll get those uploaded and we'll get you approved that way. The YouTube channels, I think IT is going to put together, hopefully sooner than later. Really important, though. I get a lot of emails, and it's understandable. You guys will have till July of next year to do 4 of these classes. So if you see anything in the future that's more of interest, and you're also more than welcome to attend more than 4 classes as well. So these are more on your time. So if you guys want to attend all of them, I have a few doing that. You're more than welcome to do that too. So there won't be a big rush on completing the videos if you guys don't get a chance to get 4 here and live. And then I'll put together, or Diane will put together, a quiz. It'll be on the portal if you do miss a live session. You guys can watch the video and then do the quiz, and we'll get you credit for them that way. So really important, though, make sure you are on the sign-in sheet. That way I can get you guys a certificate. It'll be a participation thing, of course, so you don't have to watch a video or do a quiz since you're here. So any questions? All make sense? All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. So we're talking about healthy eating on a budget. So we all like to eat, and we all like to save money, right? Okay, this is audience participation, so, okay. So obviously, many Americans do want to try to eat healthy, but did you realize that really it's about 2/3 of America are overweight or obese? So maybe turn it down a little. Yeah. So today, hopefully I'm going to show you some things that you can do to try to eat healthy and stick to your budget. So, there. All right, you're probably familiar with the plate. Does that look familiar to most of you? And this is kind of what we're supposed to look like. This one's in Spanish, if you read Spanish. So basically with the plate, we want half of your plate to be your fruits and veggies, and then you want basically 1/4 of it to be your proteins, and then 1/4 of it are your whole grains. And the thing that's kind of the trick on this is it's based on a 9-inch plate. This is, bless you, this is a 9-inch plate. Are your plates bigger at home? Anybody? Restaurants, how big are the plates? Humongous, yeah. So that's one of the tricks. And simple way that you might think about if you're trying to cut back, studies have shown that if you go with a smaller plate, you're going to eat less food. So something to keep in mind, measure your plate when you get home. The other thing about this is it's based on a 2,000 calorie a day diet. So there's probably quite a few of you that probably are not trying to eat 2,000 calories a day. Depends on your desired weight. So if I were to eat that much, I would gain weight. So I'm looking at more like 1,500. So, but this is based on 2,000 calories a day. So keep that in mind when you're planning your food. And the next thing we're talking about is how to plan your meals. And that's probably, when we talk about nutrition, seems like people always come back to planning is the real challenging part. So I want to know what you all do to try to plan your healthy food or to save money. So what are some ideas that you do that you think are helpful? Just speak up. Make a grocery list. That's a great one. Yeah, make a grocery list. What else do you do? Use a meal plan app. Do you have a favorite? Oh, that's right, you do. E-meals. Is that right? Something like that? Anybody else? Yes. Don't go to the store hungry. How many of you have done that before? Do you buy a lot of food? Yeah. Yeah. That's a problem. Or don't take a kid. Do you spend lots more money when you take kids? Yeah. Don't take no. All right. What else? Shop on the perimeter. You guys are good. You could answer all the questions already. Yeah, shop on the perimeter. And we'll get to that later, but definitely that's a good one. What else?
Use the Walmart pickup app so you don't even go in the store.
Ah, yes. Use pickup apps. Oh, is it? Because I didn't know what Walmart's was. So if you spend 35 or more, it's free? Because I think Dillon's charges you after a few, right? Like 5 or something after a few times. So that's true. You don't get your steps in if you do that. So that's a a good news, bad news one. All right. So these are some great things. A few other things that I had there is plan around what's on sale. So I like to get the ad. Oops, there. I like to get the ad and then look at that and say, oh, they've got pork chops on sale. So we're going to have pork chops this week. And you could like buy 2 if they're, buy one, get one free. Get 2 of those. Go on and look up some recipes. Anybody have favorite recipe apps you go to? Oops. I like Cooking Light. Mayo Clinic is real good. Hungry Girl. And then also, guy I work with just told me about Budget Bites. And that one is really great at helping you plan your meals, and also it has the recipes on there. So that's one to think about. And the other thing, when you think about going to the store, you said make the grocery list. Your time is money. So make sure you're more organized, have a plan when you go to the store. I even, sometimes it's so anal, I try to make my grocery list in the order of the aisles. So that way I know that, okay, first is the fruits and veggies, and then I go to the bread, and just makes it really quick and simple. Another thing to look at is when you're making that list, I gave you a little handout. This is from the USDA. They have a great website called My Plate, except right now it's down, so everything I wanted to get off of it was not available. But this is where they do their grocery list and also a plan. So you can just go through, and if it's pork chops one day and fish on this day, salads this day, just to kind of help you do a little bit of planning, that might be a good tool for you. The other thing, do you ever find that you buy too many you go buy something and then you go home and it's already in your refrigerator? Yeah, so scan your refrigerator and pantry first before you go to the grocery store so you don't waste money buying stuff you already have. And another thing that I like to do is kind of repetition to make it really simple. Monday is Meatless Monday. Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Friday is Fish Friday. Sunday, Soup Sunday. So something like that, so at least in your brain, all you have to do is say, okay, today we're having something taco-like because it's Tuesday. So, all right, another one. Oops, hello. There we go. This is sticking to your grocery list. So we mentioned one app already. Anybody else use any grocery apps? So we did the Walmart one, right? So you go on the app to do that? Yeah, that's a good one. Add as you go. Has anyone gone into the Dillon's app and looked at their app? And on theirs, they also have, it's kind of a separate app, but it's called Opt Up. And the cool thing with this, and it's sort of Dillon's or Kroger's, but what they do is they give you a score. So every time you go to the grocery store, it's going to give you a score. It's like out of 1,000. So it might give you a score of 700 and some if you were kind of healthy. If you were really healthy, maybe you get a 900. If you bought Halloween candy and lots of that stuff, you get like a 300. So that's kind of a cool app too, is to look at that opt-up. But Dillon's has their app, and then also to use their click list is something to think about. Somebody mentioned already, shop the perimeter of the store. That's where all the healthy, the whole foods, a lot of those things are more in the perimeter. And then when they put things on the shelves, the more expensive ones usually are right in the middle. Have you noticed that? And so look at those top and lower shelves. You get more exercise, bending over. So look high and look low. That's probably going to be where more of the generic things are. So look at those. Compare the unit price. And just because it's bigger, so many times we're trying to think, okay, if you get the great big jar of peanut butter, it's going to be cheaper per unit. Not always, yeah. So really look at those, compare the prices. Check the ingredients. Sometimes it really doesn't have everything that you think that you're getting. And usually generic brands, what do you find with those? You think? They cost less, yeah, definitely cost less. Usually it's about the same quality. You know, I have a few things where I'm like, no, I don't buy generic in that. But most things you do all right with the generic. And then again, using those apps. All right. And cook at home. So, is it cheaper to cook at home or go out to eat? Yeah, yeah. And where do you eat more? Out. Yeah, more calories when you go out to eat. So, yeah, the cooking at home, fewer calories. And the other thing is think about cooking 2 meals at once. Anybody do that? Yeah. What kind of things do you do when do you just always double it or? Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's a good way. Just plan for those leftovers. That way, yeah, you have your lunch tomorrow, or too bad you're having leftovers the next night because, you know, you double the recipe. Also, freeze it. Get some nice, it's good to invest in good storage things. I almost said that brand name, but whatever kind of storage things you like, and put them in the single-size servings. A lot of times it's just, you know, eat one, freeze one. Just get in that habit and make a good plan for those leftovers. And then here's the one that somebody said, don't shop when you're hungry. So have some kind of a snack before you go. Try to get something, maybe a piece of fruit, something with protein in it, get some nuts, yogurt, something so you go into that store, everything doesn't smell good. Or, you know, you go by the bakery part and you smell all that. Or if you don't even go into the store, then you don't have to worry about that either. And usually those things that they'll have on sale, or if they have the little tasty things, is that stuff usually very healthy? Yeah, not. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, our nurses would say that's not a good thing to do. Yeah, wash your hands. Yeah, don't eat after 100 other people have touched that same thing. So, good advice. Another one is buy whole foods or buy in bulk. Usually it's going to be cheaper if you buy from the bigger packages, or if you do where they have the big containers where you can get your nuts or your flour and things like that. So think about buying in bulk, or even like, you know, a block of cheese versus the shredded cheese. You know, you're going to save a lot of money. Go home as soon as you get that cheese home, shred it yourself. Again, put it in good storage containers. You're going to save money that way. Divide it and package it as soon as you get home. I know, like with my lettuce, I found that if I buy, you know, the leafy lettuce, I take it home and let it sit a few days, what happens to it? Yeah, it gets gross. So make sure as soon as you get home, wash it. Again, good storage containers will really help stuff stay good for longer. Another thing I found, and this was at the state fair, and they're not paying me for this, but I love it. And I don't know where else you can get them. But grip stick, anybody have these? These are so cool. And it really works on bags. And all it is, you kind of like fold it over like that and just stick this little thing on. And so it keeps all the air out. So if you see something like this, it's called grip stick, or they have them at the state fair. And they have all different sizes. And they even have a great big one where they showed like, you know, sealing like 3 bags at once and hanging on the cabinet door. So anyway, simple little things like that. Save money and they're handy. Okay, these are just some examples of some savings that you could do. Like up here, it's talking about the almonds. If you buy it pre-packaged, you know, it would be like $17 to buy an equal amount that's already pre-packaged. Buy the bulk, it's going to be $7. Make your own nutrition bars. Anybody do that? Make your own little granola-like bars. Really simple to do. Another thing is the rice. Yeah, you can buy that box rice. It's going to be like $6. Buy the bag of the brown rice for $1.84. And then there's fast food. $6 maybe for a fast food meal. You can get a really good salmon fillet for like $4. So, you know, think about the money when you're looking at buying the packaged stuff. And then this, I love this one. $20, you could have that lovely Kentucky Fried meal that would feed, probably 4 people. 8 pieces, the 4 biscuits, the sides, $19.61. At the bottom, you could get 2 pounds of chicken breast, 10 pounds of potatoes, 8 ears of corn, pound of peaches, gallon of milk, 1 pound of hamburger, Yoplait, oats, peas, and kidney beans for basically the same amount. talk about quantity. Which one's going to go farther? You know, you can make your meal with that bottom one and have lots of leftovers. So, you know, yeah, it's nice to have convenience and eat out sometimes. If you're really trying to save money, something to think about. And junk food and fast food. You spend a lot on that? Anybody? Yeah, it adds up fast. So, you know, one way is just to make yourself a plan, like I'm only going to have fast food or eat out once a week. Set some kind of guidelines so that way, hopefully you're not doing it just every time you think about it. Sodas, coffees. How many buy the expensive coffee? Hot chocolates? No, you guys are good. All right, but those can really add up too. And a lot of those kinds of things, obviously, no nutritional value in those. When you're looking for healthy snacks, think about going with the fruits and veggies. You know, a good basic guideline is trying to get 5 fruits and veggies in a day. How many do 5 a day? All right, pretty good. All right. So a good way, if you want to try to get more in, think about it as snacks. Yeah, some days. But think about it as snacks. You know, in our office, we're pretty good about kind of mid-morning, mid-afternoon, you know, having some type of a fruit or a veggie as a snack. Help keep you full, and it's just a good way to get more snacks in with the fruits and veggies, but you'll probably in the long run eat less by having that. So I know if I don't have my afternoon snack, then I get really hungry, and by the time I get home, everything looks good. So, or eat an apple on the way home. If I haven't had it at work that day, oops, I shouldn't say it in front of a cop, should I? Is it okay to eat an apple and drive? Is that against the rules? I'm not going to tell you what kind of car I have. Anyway, try to get in your fruits and veggies as your snacks. Another thing to keep in mind, I like this picture with, we say eat the rainbow. And I don't know if you noticed on that Kentucky Fried Chicken meal, what color was that meal with Kentucky Fried? White and brown. Is that very nutritional? No. So you want to try to think about eating the rainbow, just all the ways you can get all those different colors in. That's going to be lots more nutritious to try to eat the rainbow. Okay, another example of the good old fast food. So this one, just an example of how much money you could save. If you had a 1/4 pounder with cheese, extra value meal would be, this said, and I looked, it's about $6.59. 1,100 calories. So that's about $26 for a family of 4, 4,400 calories, and 180 grams of fat. Or, yeah, ooh. Or the other thing, think about a turkey burger, you know, buy like the frozen turkey burger, lettuce, tomato, mustard, whole wheat bun, homemade coleslaw, and then just like lemon water. That would cost about $2.20, 488 calories. So it's $8.80 for a family, 1,900 calories, and 104 grams of fat. So if over a year, if you made that kind of change one time a week, you would save $900 and 127,000 calories. So, but you know, simple changes, that's one thing to really keep in mind. You don't have to change everything all at once, but just look at little things that you can do here and there to really try to make simple changes that are going to make a big difference. Calorie-wise, how many pounds would you lose if you made that one change? I heard one time, like, if you have a donut every day right now and you went to only eating half of a donut every day, that's 10 pounds in a year. So, yeah, look at something. Depends on how much you weigh, but, you know, you get the idea. But look at little simple changes. Don't go upstairs and eat all the food like they had on 5th floor every day. Good thing we don't have that every day. All right. Next thing, stock up on sales. But only my mom was so bad about she'd buy it because it was on sale. Yeah. And then it would sit there and you might not really eat it. So only buy it if you're really going to use it. And then make sure freeze it. If it's something that's appropriate, freeze it. Again, get good containers, Ziploc bags, write the date on it and what it is, because sometimes, you know, it gets in the freezer and then you pull it out and you're like, what is that? So make sure you write what it is and the date. They usually say about 3 months on meats and things like that. They'll stay good in the freezer if it's a good container. Check the food ads. You know, a lot of times Dylan's I'd stop at Dylan's, sorry. But they'll do like the 2-for-1. Say, buy a roast, freeze a roast. Simple thing to do. The other thing is look for those digital coupons, or sometimes they'll have, if you buy a gift card, you get 4 times the fuel points or something. I know people that buy the gift cards and then use the gift cards for yourself. So it depends on, takes a little effort, but saves you some money. Another thing is meat. Meat is probably one of the most expensive things when you're doing your shopping. So look at maybe eating less meat. Most of us Americans eat too much meat. So one way is maybe eat a little bit less that way. And then also see if you can find other sources of your protein. 1 or 2 days a week. Anybody have breakfast for dinner? That's always a fun thing to do. Yeah, you can do that pretty healthy. Add in more eggs, the canned fish, tofu, legumes. Look at things like that for that meat or protein part of it. I grew up on a farm, so I'm kind of a meat person, but I'm trying. I'm eating less. And also think about getting the leaner cuts of meat too. Go vegetarian 1 day a week. Meatless Mondays, simple little thing to do that again is going to help cut out some of that. And then also you can go for the cheaper cuts of meat. On that, especially if you're doing casseroles, doing stir fries, soups, you can probably get by with a little bit of the lesser quality meat. On the hamburger, it's really expensive to get that nice 96 or 94%, lean. But if you buy the one, say the 80% one, you can rinse it after, like if you're doing scrambled hamburger for something, just rinse it, and you're going to get rid of a whole lot of that fat in it. Larger quantities, a lot of times you can buy those great big old packs of pork chops or whatever. And if there's only 2 of you in your house, divide them up again as soon as you get home, freeze the rest, use a little bit of it tonight. Buy the whole chicken. How much more is chicken when they cut it up for you? Yeah, so buy that whole chicken or rotisserie. I know a while back I saw it for like $4.99 for a whole rotisserie chicken. And that's awesome. You have it that night. You can use it another day for a casserole, use it another day on your salad. So lots of things to do with chicken. Or put filler in for things. This is a good way, especially if you have kids, to try to add in some veggies. If you're doing like a meatloaf or spaghetti sauce, mix veggies into that, kind of puree them, and then you can mix in more veggies that way, or just putting things like that in your meatloaf, using it in the sauces, or even whole grains. When you do your meatloaf, throw in some oatmeal, kind of makes it lighter, and again, extends it so it looks like you have a bigger meatloaf with the same amount of meat. Shop for produce in season. We're so close to if you're in this building or around, we're really close to the farmer's market. So trying to get to the farmer's market when it's in season, it's not always going to be cheaper at the farmer's market, but at least it's going to be fresher, better quality usually. So think about farmer's markets. Also, if you buy your produce in the bag, think about the apples. If you buy where you pick it out, that's going to be more expensive than if you just buy the bag of apples, something like that. Again, buy the extra, freeze it. What do you do with your old bananas? Freeze them, yeah. Your bananas start to get a little scary looking, just put them in the freezer and then use them later for smoothies or whatever. Grapes, frozen grapes are great, but freeze them before they get really bad. But then you can freeze them and still keep them good that way. Again, wash and store things immediately, like with the lettuce. If you don't wash it and get it stored properly, it's not going to last as long. And then frozen fruits and veggies. Nothing wrong with buying the frozen. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit cheaper than compared with the fresh. Also with the frozen ones, those are picked at the peak of freshness. So they're probably going to be actually maybe a little better quality than you might get when you're just buying the produce. Also helps reduce waste. With the frozen, you use what you need, put the rest back. Save money that way. Canned is okay. You'd prefer to have the fresh is best. Frozen's okay. Canned is, okay. But try to get ones that are in their own juice or low sodium when you're looking at the canned items. And grow your own produce. Anybody have good gardens? or gardens at all? Well, I found out about the Hutch Community Garden. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah, it's amazing. It's over at Wall Street and Severance. $25. You get a pretty good sized plot. And they have a lot of the tools there and people that know what to do, because I like to garden, but I don't, probably know everything. They have people there that really know how to help you grow things. So think about something like that. Have your own garden, constant supply of your fruits and veggies that way, or go over there and do the community garden. And if you have extras, always think about just bring it to work, give it to your friends at work, or give it to the food bank if you have extra items from your garden. And pack your lunch. Who brings your own lunch from home? Yeah, does that save money? Yeah, a lot cheaper than going out all the time. Also, good way to utilize your leftovers, just kind of plan it that way. Again, cook twice as much, bring the rest for your leftovers for the next day. Sandwich, soup, salads, those are all nice simple things you can do to have your lunch at work. Coupons, anybody a coupon user person? Okay, so what do you guys use? What are some good tricks or coupons or things that you do to save money that way? Digital, yep. Go on there where you download them onto your phone or onto your card, and that way they're just there. It's kind of like you put it, and a lot of times those are good for a long time, so digital coupons are good. What else? Yeah, cut them out. Yeah, from the paper, or I know sometimes they'll just send me coupons for a lot of things that I buy. They just send them to you. Takes a little bit of time, and get that little organizer thing, or that way it takes a minute to go through them before you go to the store, but then go through. I look at, okay, what's about to expire, so I make sure use them up before they expire. What else? Ooh, yeah, items on sale. What was the other one? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from the sales receipt. Yeah, good. Anything else? Trip. All right. Another thing is loyalty card. I know some people get annoyed, but, it does save you money if you have the loyalty card for that store. Or also, some of us are old enough for Senior Day. Find out what day they have Senior Day at the stores. I know Walgreens has a Senior Day. I think I heard Dillon's did away with theirs. Is that right? Anybody else know of good Senior Days? Orscheln's? Hey! You buy stuff. Wednesdays, okay. Yeah, I know Walgreens is the first Tuesday, I think, of the month. So, yeah. But, yeah, look for those Senior Days. But which one's Thursday? Oh. All right. Okay, another thing, appreciate less expensive foods. We don't always have to have the best steak all the time. Think about using, again, more of the eggs, beans, nuts, whole grains. Look on the internet. It's really simple to put in, cheap bean recipes or simple bean recipes. So use that internet. Don't be adventuresome, or don't be afraid to try some new things. Be adventuresome. There you go. And just a couple of other things is, again, think about using the click list or the Walmart, where that way you don't even go in the store. So you're not going to buy as much if you're not walking through, picking up all those little things that, this looks really good. And then I found that some of the discount stores around town are good for your spices, condiments, your paper, your plastic products. Some of those places are a little bit cheaper. You just kind of have to know your prices. And then there's always the big box stores, like the Sam's and Costco. Those kind of places will save money if you're really going to use all that. So it helps if you kind of keep those prices in mind so you know what you're looking at. All right. And then this little sheet is from the Heart Association. So basically kind of some of the things that we talked about today, just to give you some ideas there. And just kind of your take-home message that I hope you'll remember is you can eat healthy on a budget, plan your meals, cook at home, make smart choices when you go to the grocery store. And I like this one. Junk food costs you twice. Bad health does come with medical costs, drugs, and even, sometimes not able to work as well. Eating healthy does save you money in the long term, and we all know you can't put a price on good health. So, any questions or comments? Any other ideas that you have that saves you money and helps you eat healthy? Anything we didn't hit on? Or any questions?
I know some people prepare the full meal on Sunday.
That's a good idea. Yeah, do a meal prep day. There, meal prep day. Yeah. Do you do that?
No.
No. It's a good idea. And, I've heard people, I know, I don't do it either. But I've heard people that do. I mean, you're literally, they say like 2 or 3 hours. And you can really have your whole week's worth all planned out. The other thing that helps me is to, chop up my fruit when I get home. Because even just that, taking the time of, oh, yeah, I need to wash the grapes, or, oh, I need to chop up the strawberries. So just doing that when you get home from the grocery store, that helps, and you can just reach in and grab it. Or putting them in the little, 1-cup containers or baggies or something, so I can just grab it and bring to work. Any other ideas? All right.
If you're tracking all your macros like protein and stuff, a food scale sometimes will keep you in check with your portions.
Yeah, that's the other thing is a lot of times, he was talking about food scale. A lot of times what we think is a portion really isn't a portion. And especially if you're trying to maybe cut down, lose a little bit of weight, if you weigh your foods, and you don't have to do it all the time, but just do it a few times, and then you kind of get that idea that, like a 3 or 4 ounce piece of meat is like the size of the palm of your hand or a deck of cards. That's what we're supposed to have for a serving of meat. How big is the steak when you go out to the steakhouse? 8, 10, 12 ounces. Yeah, it's bigger than that. And I have big hands. So, anything else? That big a steak? Yeah, that might be your week's worth. Then you're done. You're done for the week. But if you eat all of it, you get it free, right? Then it's a good deal. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thanks for coming. If you have any questions, holler, and have a good day. Make sure you're signed in.